on the stage with presentation in which I'm going to share few more concepts from the book that has been written by Amit sir about interviewing, about the skills that you should use, that you can use in your interview to ace your interview in the first 90 seconds and get selected in the job profile you are aiming for. So I have already told you that it is just presenting yourself. The way you present yourself, the way you attract yourself, the way you attract the people, the way you influence them decides that whether you are going to select it or not. And the interview that you're giving will decide your future, which car you will ride, which bungalow you will be in, how much bank balance you are going to have in your bank. And we have already told you that many people in this world, they usually do two types of works. One is hard work, pushing the square box, which is very impossible because friction works over there. But another type of people in this world do a smart work by just rolling the circle ahead in the very easy way. But many people in this world, what they do is before going to the interview, they usually go to Google and search for the tips. And oh my God, I have already told you there are truck full of tips and tricks available, and people get confused. So what we have done for you is we have simplified the process again. I have told you that Sir has read the best of best concepts in this world, and he has written a book how you can ace your interview as a Harvard graduate in just 90 seconds. And you can decide your life that which you are dreaming for. So yesterday we have discussed on lots of tips. So today we will discuss on other important tips. So the first tip, yesterday I have discussed that you should know about yourself. You should know that you are a function of the society you live in, of the education you have done, of the role model you have in your life, of the friends you roam around, of the people you hang out with, of the books you read, and the family you are belonging from. So, in short, you should know about yourself. You should have a clear concept that what you are. Then only you can showcase yourself as a real person. I've told you that interviewer, the HR is very smart and he can guess like you are faking or not. So if you know about yourself, you can showcase yourself in the best possible way. You can attract the interviewer towards you. You can make them feel love for you. So, how you can do this? One of the best eminent tips that you can use is you can use a master stroke. For example, let us take the example of the chess game. It doesn't matter how many moves you clearly take in the chess game. There is only a one master stroke. There is only a one move of checkmate. And as soon as the player uses that move, everything is done. So that's how in interview you also have a master stroke, that is thinking two levels up, minimum thinking two levels up. So let's understand this concept. Let us take an example to understand it very clearly. For example, I am Lalit is preparing for a sales job in a company. For example, let us take the example of Tata Steel. I am preparing for sales executive job, but what should I do? Should I prepare for the sales executive? The answer is no. I should prepare myself in the 67% of ideal time as a CMO of the company, as the chief marketing officer. Apart from doing the job, I have told you already, if you prepare for your profile, you are only having the ability to do the job. But if you are preparing yourself two levels up, that means on the CMO level, you can add value to the company. You are different in the way others are not doing. You are preparing for an executive level, and in this way, you can add value to the company. You can add value to yourself. You can add value to your interview just by showcasing that you know more than others. You can not only do the sales in the company, but can also bring the goodwill. You can also build the brand. And in this way, you can add the value to the company. If you will use this master stroke, the chances of getting selected will suddenly rise up, will hike up by 10 to 20%. So let us talk about a psychological method that is used. For example, if you are going to an interview, there are many persons sitting with you, along with you outside the HR's room. But we can easily divide them into two leagues. One person who belongs to the league where weak people are there, who are desperate of getting that job, who have the hunger to get selected. And in that way, they showcase that, please, sir, they start to beg in front of the interviewer that, sir, please select us. We can do the job. We can do the job you are looking for. We are your employees. We are your laborers. We are your workers. But trust me, if you do so, because the interviewer is acting as an adult, and what you are doing, you are acting as a child. You are just being stubborn for the position. So please, 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 sir, please take me. Plus, sir, please, please select me. But this is not the way you should do. You should act. You should also act in the same level where the interviewer is standing. If the interviewer is being adult, is being matured, is acting as a matured person, you should also be matured. You should also be strong enough to face the situation. You should be confident that, yes, if I am this, I can be with this. Let's take an example again. Everyone over here has watched the movie Three Idiots. There was a personality, Raju Rastogi. He attempted the suicide attempt. He attempted to get the suicide and he was in the hospital for 3 months. But after that, he attends an interview where the interviewer asked him to lesser down the quality he has, that was straightforwardness, being very straightforward in his life. But Raju Rastogi refused to do so. He stick to his point that, no, sir, I am strong. I am not desperate. I am assertive. I know that if you will not select me, if I reject your job, I can even handle my life in the better way. I'm not desperate. I'm not weak. I am also matured as you are. If you are playing tricks with me, I can also play tricks with you. If you are a magician, I am also your magician. I can also play tricks with you. If you are adult, I am also the adult person sitting in front of you. And if you do so, if you use this psychological method of being strong, being assertive, that you can stick to your point at till the end, Raju Rastogi sticks towards the point that, no, I cannot change my character. I cannot change my behavior just for the sake of money that you're giving me. Get, I am what I am. And in that way, he is successful person. He gets the job. He is selected in the interview because he is a strong person. And every company needs strong people who can face the situation, who can stick to their points, who can be confident, who are assertive in their life. That means they will not change. They will not become dishonest. They will not cheat the company just for the sake of money. And this is one of the major tricks that every HR plays with you. And if you are enough smart to deal with it, you are selected. Now, there is a very important, very enjoyable trick I'm going to tell you. Do you know that every interviewer who is taking your interview is also stressed, is also tensed, that if he is going to select the wrong person, even his job is going to be in difficulty. If even his job is going to be in problem. So he is also stressed. So what you can do is you can easily be confident in front of the interviewer. You can be comfortable. You can be calm and cool. And in that way, you can showcase, you can make the interviewer feel comfortable with you. And you can convert the environment of stress, of tension, of pressure into an enjoyable one. And trust me, as soon as you do it, the interviewer will start getting attracted towards you. You can raise your certainty point. You can raise the curve of certainty to another level. That is a very important trick, my friends. Just understand this. If you want, you can also note down. What is an interview? Do you know? An interview is just raising the level of uncertainty to the point of certainty. Whenever you enters the room, there is a point where interviewer is thinking that you are uncertain. And the whole interview is under one trick. That is raising the curve from uncertainty to the level of certainty. Do you know, my friends, if you are enough confident, if you are comfortable, if you can handle the pressure, if you can make the environment enjoyable, and if you can make the environment with energetic and enthusiasm, trust me, the curve of uncertainty will suddenly touch the point of certainty, and the whole interview will be under your control if you understand this trick. So, what is an interview? It is just uncertainty curve to the curve of certainty. So this is an important trick that you should remember. Now coming to one of the most important thing. In the yesterday's PPT, I have discussed that I will tell you about that one answer. One answer which can answer all the questions of your interview. It doesn't matter whether you have been asked 100 questions. In all the questions asked by the interviewer, the only one answer he is looking for, that is WIIFM. WIIFM. What is in for me? What is in for me? Why are you answering me? What is there for me in your answer? Every company is looking for. Yesterday, I've told you every company looks the profit that you can add to their company. In which way you can be able to add value to the company. Why are you listening to my presentation? Are you listening my presentation to satisfy me? My friends, this is a wrong answer if you will say yes. Many of the people over here, and all the people, I can say all the people are listening to this interview, to this presentation, to this PPT just because they are getting something. They are getting and value in their life. And same as you are doing, every company looks for value addition. Every answer that you give, you should be able to showcase that how you can add value to the company. If you are able to do that, you are selected. You are the person who is going to get the salary, you are going to get the offer letter, because company is interested in how you are going to benefit me. And if you can show, whether it is about your description, whether it is about your education, whether it is about your experiences, whether it is about your qualities, every answer should be directed, should be motivated towards how you can add value to the company. The only one answer to all the questions that has been asked to you. So now let's move to the next slide, next tip, next concept that every interviewee should know how to implement this. Yesterday, I have told you that if you have the functionality of doing the job, if you have the functionality of being able to do the job, you are not going to select it. For example, just imagine you have given that one answer the interviewer is looking for. Will you be get selected? My friends, no. No one in this world wants to hang out with the boring people, with the dumb people, with the negative people, with the cancerous people who can bring negativity. No one wants to work with such type of peoples. Everyone want a person who can make them feel comfortable, who are likable, who are genuine, who are trustworthy. So if you look at the triangle in front of your screens, there are four levels. First, functional ability to do the work. Now, if you move above that line, it is about adding value. You should be likable. You should be a person people are willing to share their feelings. You should be a person people love to hang out with. You should be a person people love spend timing with you. People will love you. People should love you. You should be likable by everyone. If you only have the ability of doing the job, no one will get interested in you. But if you are a person who can change the environment, who can bring energy into the people, who can motivate, who is likable, whom the persons like to share their feelings and thoughts, who can make the people comfortable around him, then only the chances of getting selected will be increased. Now, one of the most important tip in today's presentation, using stories in your answers. In the storytelling PPT, I have told you that you should have stories in your answers. Everywhere where you are standing, if you have stories, you can actually ace anything. You can actually ace the presentation that you're giving. And in the interview also, if you know how to use the story, how to tell the story in your answers, and how to implement that story in the interviewer's mind, trust me, interviewer is going to remember you. Do you know why? because the date you give the interview and the date you receive the result, there is a long gap in between. So how the company is going to remember you? The company is going to remember you by the way you tell the story, by the way you are using stories in your answers, by the stories that you are telling, because we have told you stories are like virus injected in the company's mind. And as the virus is injected, it cannot be eradicated, it cannot be forgotten. People will remember you by the way you tell the story. And if you use the personal stories, the life stories of yours life, then it can be more natural. It has some newness. We have discussed every point that if you use your real life stories, real life examples, you use your examples, your life examples, then you can be more confident. You can deliver it in a very authentic way, in a very best way. You can present everything in a very clear and simple concept because it's your life story and you don't have to practice for it. So in this way, it is a trick of saving time of preparation for the interview. Now coming to a point that how you can add stories and what type of stories you should have in your interview. You should have at least three stories with your answers in your mind when you are going to an interview, when you are preparing yourself for an interview. Three stories, minimum three stories. Story one, story two, and story three. Now I'm just giving you examples what type of stories you can have. It is not mandatory, but I'm just giving you an example. The first story should always be related, somehow related to the skills that you have. For example, I'm a very good leader. Then I can share a story of my life. For example, so I'm sharing a story of my leadership skills that I was the president of student council of my school when I was in 12th standard. And at that time, I have organized the the Teachers Day event in my school, which was one of the best event, and I've organized it in such a way that till date everyone remembers that Lalit was one of the best leader, one of the best president who can organize and handle the meetings in one of the best way, in the effective and efficient way. This is one of the story which is related to my skills. If I'm a communicator, I will use that type of story. Now the second story should always be related to the passion that you have, the enthusiasm that you have, the thing which you love to do in your life, the thing for towards which you are passionate. For example, I am passionate towards public speaking. Then I can share a story that I was one of the best public speaker in my life, and I have an YouTube channel, and whenever I post any video in that channel, I get million views within few days of posting it. And in this way, I can show the interviewer that whatever I'm passionate about, I can add value through that to your company. Now, the third story should always be related to your personal life. For example, if you are a very genuine person, if you are a very honest person, I can even share a story that, sir, I was sitting with an company, and in that interview, the company asked me that, will you be dishonest with us if you are going to get a salary hike in your life? And I have rejected that job just because I don't want to fake myself. I want to be honest. And in this way, I can show my honesty, I can show my integrity. So these are three type of stories which you can have, but it is not mandatory again. So now, what type of stories, how your stories should be? Your stories should always be with the B star. B star. B star. Note it down, guys. B star. Your story should be connected with B star. What is B star? Benefit, situation, task, action, and result. Now I'm going to explain this with an example, and I request everyone to listen this very carefully because it is very important to understand that how you should use a story and how it should be. For example, I am sitting with an interview, and the interviewer asked me to share one of the best incident I have in my life, to share a story of my life. I started like this. So when I was in college, one day, director of my college, he called me at 10 p.m. at night, and he told me and informed me that tomorrow, Lalit, we are going to have blood donation camp in our college, and it is very mandatory to have at least 125 blood donors. in our camp because it is going to help us by bringing the name, fame, and goodwill. The governor is going to certificate the best school, the best college who is going to have at least 125 donors. And I don't believe anyone. I believe you. I have trust on you. And I'm giving this responsibility that you have to handle the whole meeting, the whole event. You have to organize it and you have to carry on the event in the best and effective manner. Suddenly, I started taking calls with my friends. Suddenly, I drafted a message and I sent it to all the groups that I have. And I requested every friend that I have to spread the message as far as possible. And I worked for 8 to 9 hours. I was just having that 8 to 9 hours in my hand. And I worked very smartly, very cleverly, very intelligently that how I can collect the donors. And now the task. I have completed the task by getting the actions in it. I have worked for 8 hours. I have done everything what I can done. And the next day, we had the total 157 donors with the largest number of donors collected in our state. And that's how I completed my task. And the next day, every press, every newspaper visited our college, interviewed our director of the college and the governor of the college. Next day, he gave a certificate to our college of organizing the best blood donation camp with the largest number of donors. So this is how I have done one of the best story in my life with B Star. I have a benefit that I can organize, I can lead, I can manage, I can handle every situation in my life. There was a situation I had the task to be completed, that is organizing the event and collecting the large number of donors. I had put the actions into it, and the last I got the results. That was 157 donors. And this is how I can also be a B star to your company by adding benefits, by proving the task, and by making the actions and getting the results for you. So this is how the story should be. Now, there is one important concept you should know about. That is about the elevator pitch. Do you know that there are two ways to reach the top floor? One is by using the staircase, and the second is by using the elevator. The elevator pitch should always be of 2 to 5 minutes. In every interview, there is a single question which is asked at the end, that why should we hire you? And in that answer, you just have to answer that why you are important, why you are going to be selected, what is the benefit if they will select you. And that is what elevator pitch is. The elevator pitch should always be containing of who you are, what you can do, how you can do, and how it can benefit the company. I have taken an example that I have visited Tata Steel for the sales executive job. If I use a very good elevator pitch that, sure, I'm a motivational speaker and I have a channel which crosses millions of views on every video that I post, that means I can build connection with the company. This is what I'm doing from the last 5 years, and I have a very good communication skills. And if I will come to your company at the sales executive, I can not only sell your product, but I can also add the value to your company by handling the customers and maintaining the relationships with them. I can build a database of customers for your company. In that way, I can also market your company. I can also build the brand of your company. This is my elevator pitch. And as soon as I will use it, the interview is going to elevate it from 50 to 90%. Now, one of the most important concepts, hiding your negativity. Many times in the interview, it is common to be asked a single question, tell me about your weakness. And you cannot say like this, that, sir, I don't have any weakness. You have to tell your weakness. But how? In which way? Because if you will show your negativity, if you will show your weakness, the company is not going to select you. But there is a method which is known as sandwich method, If you want to make the children eat the salad, what you can do is you can put the salad between the two breads, and you can also put some masala in it, and you can give it to the child. The child will eat because he is fascinated, he is interested in eating that bread, not that salad that is put in between. So in this way, you can also showcase your weakness. Like For example, some my weakness that I'm a very hard worker, and often when I work hard till nights, what I do is I usually suffer with my health. I usually get ill because I do a lot of hard work. But I have understood my weakness, I have overcome it, and now I'm working on my weakness until 80 to 85%. I have converted myself from a hard worker to a smart worker, and now I know how to use my time effectively, efficiently, and how cleverly I can work for the company, and how I can bring the results in the very less time by also taking care of my health. So in this way, if you present your weakness, the interviewer is going to love you like crazy, because you know how to deal with situations, you know how to portray even the weakest point of your life in the best way. And I've told you, interview is again about presenting. So the last tip, the final tip, this is one of the most important concepts you should know. People do not like the stationary one. People do not like to have the fixed mindset people with them. No company wants to be at the same level for years and years. Every company wants to grow. And in that case, if you are a fixed mindset person, if you have a fixed mindset that no, I will not comply with the changing technology, I will not comply with the changing environment in the market, no company is going to select you. For that, you should have a growth oriented mindset. You should be a person who is having a growth oriented mindset, who can comply with the changes, because everyone know that changes are the only constant. Changes will keep on coming, market will keep on changing, technology will keep on changing, and if you cannot comply with the changes, the company is least interested in taking you, in selecting you, in paying you, because you are just a labor, and labors are available in millions out of the company. But if you want to get selected as an eminent personality, you should be a growth oriented person. That is why important. If you have a growth oriented mindset, you will be easily selected by the company by paying you the amount you are desired for, by paying you the car, by paying you the bungalow, by paying you the lifestyle you are desired for. For that, the only thing you have to do is you should be a growth oriented mindset. You should always think for growing yourself. Now, in the yesterday's PPT, I have given you that I will share the final pro tip. Till now, we have done 99% of the interview. Only 1% of interview is left. And that 1% is in front of your screen. Till now, I have elevated your interview from 1% to 99%. Now it's time for completing that 1%, in which you will get selected and you will get paid the salary you are desired for. What is that? The final pro tip is asking the question to the interviewer, to the HR, to the company. Many people over here will think that Lalit is mad. If I will ask question to the company, they will think that I am having an attitude, I am having ego. But my friends, this is a reality. Every interviewer is in search of a person who is very confident, who can clear the doubts even with the superior personalities in his company, in her company. Because when you ask the question to the superior, standing with all your confidence, it shows that how much confident you are, how much straightforward you are, how much integrity you have, what type of personality you carry. That means you can even clear your doubts directly visiting the CEO of the company. For example, I'm sitting in an interview and the interviewer asks me that, Lalit, do you have any question? I will straightforwardly ask the interviewer that, sir, if I am working with your company for 2 years with all my honesty, dignity, integrity, and all my hard work, smart work, cleverness, intelligence, will I get the promotion? And as soon as I will ask the question, the interviewer will get impressed by me, will get interest in me, will get desired about me. And if you remember, the last one was action. He will sign the offer letter. He will tell me he will ask me the amount, what I desire for, what I want from the company, and he will sign that amount, and the company will select me because I'm enough confident to clear my doubts. I'm enough confident to ask the question to the interviewer, and I'm showcasing that I am at the same level where your company is standing. I am not interested, but I am very motivated towards whatever I'm doing. I'm confident enough to ask the question to your company. I can question your company. That is what my confidence is. Now, we have ended the presentation. We are at the end of this presentation. This is one of the best tips from the sir's book. But again, it is very difficult for us to cover all the tips. There are 80 plus tips in the book, my friends, but it is very tough for us to cover all the concepts. So that what we have done is we have got out the best of best concepts from the book. But now also, if you want to get some more tips, you can get connected with the sir, or you can get connected with some of our accountability partners. They will provide you with the link. And trust me, my friends, till the date, I am just 22. I'm confessing in front of everyone. I have given 30 plus interviews in my life. And using these pro tips, I have cleared out more than 26 interviews in my life out of that 30 interviews. I have also failed. But after implementing these tips, these concepts, there are many more. Being confident, being having that smile, being directly eye connected with the interviewer, I have cleared out 26 interviews till date. And this is because I know how to present myself. Now I have a small assignment that I want to give to you. If you want, really, if you want to work on this assignment, it's mandatory. It is not mandatory. You can work on this. If you really want to work on this, you can work, you can write, you can create a video, or you can record an audio and you can send it to me and Amit sir. The assignment is, first of all, know who you are. Who are you? I'm asking the question. Who is Saurabh? Who is Hina? Write the answer and send it to me. The second is, how are you different? How Lalit is different from Saurabh? How Lalit is different from Amit sir? I should know how I am different. How Nike is different from Bata? What are my features? What are my characteristics? The third, what are my strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats? That is SWOT analysis that I do with myself. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my opportunities? And where I get threatened? And the last one is enter elevator pitch. What is my elevator pitch? The 2 minutes or 5 minutes pitch that I have to give at the end of my interview before asking the question that will raise my interview from 50 to 90%. What should be that pitch? It doesn't matter how good communicator you are, how good personality you carry, but it also matters how you present yourself. If you are very well dressed up, if you maintain your high hairstyle, if you maintain your communication, if you maintain that smile, your confidence, it also matters that how much confident you are that you can add value to the company, how you can be profitable to the company. That is what elevator pitch is about. So I have this assignment, and if you want to do, just start doing it and send it to me, Amit sir, or Saurabh, or any of the accountability partners. We will guide you with the best interview answers that you can give. So with this, I end up my presentation, and thank you all for listening. And I expect that these all tips will give some type of benefit in your life, especially to the students who are at the graduation level or who are going to apply for the interviews. So with this, I end up, and thank you very much everyone for enjoying and being with me and